What's going on? Fire Hype sitting here with Steven Espinoza. How you doing?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Good to see you at a big event like this. Multiple pay-per-view events you've been a part of. How does it feel here on fight weekend, and how do you see this fight playing out?
Well, look, I think the question coming into the week is what does Manny have left? And I mean that from two things. Physically in the ring, what does he have left? But then from a business perspective, is he still a draw? Does he still generate the kind of attention, the kind of crowds? Well, look, the first question will be answered on Saturday night. Second question has already been answered. Because if you see the crowds, if you see what's going on at the weigh-in, if you see what's happening in business, when you see just the number of people who are walking around the streets in Vegas, he is still a massive draw. Even a few years away from the ring, he is one of the most recognizable names and faces in boxing. One of the names that casual fans respond to, and it's not just the Filipino market. So the reality is, the question is, Manny still a star from a business perspective? Absolutely, he's as big as a star, almost as he's ever been.
Safe to say we're expecting a sellout tomorrow night?
I think it will be very close. It'll be a huge crowd. There'll be a huge walk up or things like that. There are tickets. It's not a sellout right now as of Friday afternoon, but these crowds, with Pitbull on the card, with Barrios on the card, with Fundora and a great rematch on the card, there will be a big walk up. And yeah, by the time we get to fight night, I expect it'll be very close to a sellout, if not a sellout.
Speaking of that co-main event, great co-main event rematch between Fundora and Zoo. Controversial first fight. They both look good on the scale. Fundora came in almost 2 pounds underweight. Zoo looking ready. No more friendly time. What are your thoughts on that? And who are you picking in that fight?
Look, that was the first fight on Amazon Prime Video, and you couldn't have launched with a more intriguing fight. For anybody who, as long as you're not squeamish, it was a fascinating fight because not only was it all action, you had the drama of the blood, you had the drama of the question of would they stop it, would they not stop it. You had, I think, what for most people was a surprise result. I'm not saying he didn't earn it. I think the decision was obviously justified, but I don't know that I didn't hear that many people picking Fundora going into the fight. So now you've got all those factors. How much of the cut in the blood contribute to the decision, or is it just Fundora has Zoo's number? How do you deal with that height? How do you deal with the size? How do you deal with the power and the tenacity of Tim Zoo? So, I mean, for me, this is as close as it gets to a 50-50 fight. I'm not sure that there's anyone who knows exactly how it would go, since the first time was so drastically affected by all the blood and the cut.
Yeah, another huge fight coming up in September. Canelo and Crawford. Crawford moving up 2 weight divisions doesn't always go good for the smaller guy, but if anyone can do it, Crawford can. What are your thoughts on Crawford moving up and challenging Canelo?
Oh, you said it. It's a huge challenge, and look, Canelo's been fairly active. Crawford's been off a little bit. But if you look back at Crawford's past performances, having some time off of inactivity hasn't really come back to haunt him. He still is really sharp. I think that's a testament to the training camp that he does, there in Omaha. Look, I, personally, I think you've got to go with Canelo just because he is a pound for pound fighter, and he's got the weight advantage, and he's more natural at this weight. But that's just the tiebreaker. I mean, obviously you've got 2 pound for pound fighters with a high level skill set, and another one, but until you see them in the ring and how they take each other's punches, no one knows for sure.
Yeah. That big fight happens to be on Netflix. Amazon Prime has been involved in boxing. Not as many events as they have, but some very good ones. What's Amazon Prime's future looking like in boxing? Will they continue to do boxing? And will we have more shows after this one?
Yeah, there's definitely more shows coming this year. Amazon is very enthusiastic about the sport. They're going to continue to do dates. They're working on dates with PBC going forward, and I expect more announcements coming up. Look, Netflix has been active as well. Obviously, cherry picking the big fights, couple fights, 2 or 3 fights a year. So not quite the volume that Amazon Prime has had. But look, there's plenty of big fights. There's enough in the game for everybody.
All right, looking forward to it. Great to see you back here and to see you still doing your thing.
All right, great to see
All
you,
right,
bro.
see you too. All right, appreciate it.
All right.